Obviously, Cam, the free throws were the biggest thing down the stretch, and then I think your tap in was the last point you guys scored in the last 2.5 minutes. What did you kind of see in those last few minutes?
We were getting the looks we wanted. We're getting fouled. Just got to focus up and knock free throws down.
Okay, let's get the microphone over to Justin here in the middle.
DJ, you guys aren't going to see many teams who have offenses as high octane as theirs, and it seemed like they just had an answer for every run and every shot you guys had. And I guess what were you seeing maybe defensively that you guys weren't doing on that end of the floor?
We just they was doing a lot of ghost screens. We wasn't really communicating. We said all week we was gonna switch to ghost screens. A lot of us weren't switching, so they was getting a lot of open looks. So you got to get them props. They did their game plan. It was hitting shots. So I'll just say that us not switching was kind of the problem.
Go ahead, Steph.
Cam, down the stretch there, you guys had 6 missed free throws in the last couple minutes or so. I guess just how frustrating is it to kind of have those opportunities there and not connect?
Very frustrating. All the work we put in every day for after practice, shooting free throws, getting reps in, just not seeing the ball go in, kind of frustrating, but just got to be better next time.
Again, questions for the players. We've got time for a couple more. Let's go ahead and go back here to the front. We'll go to Paul, and then we'll go to Benjamin.
DJ, you guys are facing pretty good backcourt players here, back-to-back games. Just how hard is it to keep Sears in front of you out there on the perimeter?
Sears, he's a great player. He hit some clutch shots. He made some clutch shots and made big plays tonight. And I feel like we did a good job guarding him. But like you said, big time player made big time shots. So he just showed up in the clutch.
Yeah, Cam, in a similar vein, against a team that likes to go fast, get out in transition, take a lot of shots from outside. Was that different from a lot of teams that you'd seen so far? It seemed like you adjusted all right there, at least toward the end.
Offense. Alabama. They're really great at what they do in transition. They're top whatever in the country in pace. 3-point shooting, so they just excelled at what they're good at, and we just didn't do what we had to do to slow them down a little bit.
Anything else for the players before we let them go? Let's go back to the cameras to John, and we'll wrap it up.
Cam is one of the leaders of this team after kind of, a tough loss like this. What do you kind of say to your teammates in the locker room to kind of keep morale, to get higher and, kind of get back on the right track?
Just focusing on the next one. In a league like the SEC, we got 19 or so straight high-level, high-competition games, and we can't really dwell on the ones that we drop. We just got to focus up, get back to the grind for the next one.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Chris, obviously the free throw shooting is going to be one of the bigger stories of this game. You guys haven't been a horrible free throw shooting team this year. What do you think just happened there down the stretch?
We missed free throws, especially when it counted. You're in a one-possession game down the stretch, and, it's just you got to rely on your reps and your routine and, just staying focused. And unfortunately, we just didn't make them when they really, really counted.
Go ahead, Steph.
You guys, started the game hot, and then Cam comes out. I think it was 13 minutes or so. He picks up his second foul. Just how frustrating was that, and how much do you feel like that kind of changed some of the momentum you guys had there in the first half?
Yeah, you can't go back and replay it, so you really don't know. But he seems to be doing that quite often this year. I've talked to him about it a lot and how valuable he is for our team. And, it's not because he's not trying to, play well and do right and help us win. It's just his aggression sometimes needs to be a little more disciplined and not put himself in harm's way and, try to make a play defensively or even offensively for that matter, because we're better when he's on the floor.
We'll go Paul, front row.
Obviously, you've seen Sears for a couple of years now. Just how difficult is he to keep in front of you, first of all, and then just the way he's able to shoot the basketball?
Yeah, he's a great player. I think he's as good as a guard as there is in college basketball right now. He's just got no weaknesses in his game. He's got experience. He obviously shoots it at a high clip. He's 50 from three, and I don't know what he is from the field, but it's right around there as well. I think mid-80s from the free throw line, and he's a competitor. And, you can talk about, keeping him away from his left, but we've all seen enough basketball where we complain that we're letting him go to his dominant hand, but there's certain players that can get there regardless. You certainly talk to your blue in the face about trying to do that with guys, but he's one of those guys that has figured out a way to get where he wants to go. But, he certainly had a heck of a second half and kind of willed their team.
We'll stay to coaches right on the front row. We'll go to Tanner, and then we'll go back to Benjamin.
Coach, kind of an out-of-characteristic night for Tolu tonight, 5 for 15 from the floor. What do you need to see out of the rest of the guys when he can't get it going?
Yeah, I mean, he's probably as more disappointed or as much disappointed as anybody is. And, that was the plan, right, to play inside out and get him the ball and get Jimmy the ball and, try to, just impose his will on their team and get his game going down there. And for whatever reason, the ball wouldn't go in the basket for him, and the majority of his shots were, around the charge circle, other than the one jumper he took. And, I don't know. I mean, it's just one of those nights for him.
The turnovers, the numbers overall were about even, but big discrepancy in terms of points off turnovers in their favor. How tough can that be when you're playing against a team that likes to get out in transition and wants to play really fast, to defend after you turn the ball over?
Yeah, that was a big topic of conversation, is their transition offense. And, the biggest strength that we could have was not to turn the ball over, to try to not let them get in transition, because they're really hard to guard when you give them the ball and the court's broken and they can get their run game that way. And the same thing with, taking average shots early in the clock. I thought we did a little bit of that as well, and we had really talked a lot about that, of not trying to jumpstart, their transition game by putting ourselves in harm's way that way. And but they're good at what they do. I mean, they got their system, they believe in it, they're committed to it. They know it's a game of spurts, and they're trying to get longer spurts than the other team, and they do it, by sharing the basketball and spacing the floor and getting a bunch of threes and instilling a lot of confidence with their kids to shoot the ball.
We'll go back to the cameras and John, and then we'll head back down to the front row with Justin.
Chris, how confident are you in your guys' kind of mentality and ability to kind of wipe away a loss like this, get back at it in the gym tomorrow with, that right mentality to kind of attack the gauntlet of SEC play that you guys have coming up?
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. We've got a core group of guys that understand that this league is unrelenting, it's unforgiving. Every game, is there's a lot riding on it. That's not my concern. I know we'll get back once we regroup and get through this feeling, and that's just the way it works. In every conference, but especially in a conference like this.
Chris, there aren't many other teams in college basketball that are as high octane offensively as they are. What do you think the guys learned about just how precise and how, I guess, crisp you have to be on the defensive end against a team like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll talk to him, when we watch the film, and we'll go through all of our breakdowns. The biggest issue we had was, especially in the second half, even in the first half, is we were trying to play their ghost screens, if you will, where they slip out of the ball screens with guards or guard and big, and we couldn't get it on the floor. We were guarding our own man, and so we have two on the ball, and we got better at it late in the game, but a lot of their scores were of that variety, and that was frustrating, and we had to eventually try to change it. But they're a hard guard. We knew that going in. We certainly try to do our best to put our players in position to give them the best chance, but at the end of the day, it's my only message I had for the guys is they played better.
We'll go ahead to Steph here, and then we'll go back to the second row and
You
David.
had Jaquan and Trey come in there in the first half when you had some players in foul trouble. What did you think of the way kind of they embraced the role given to them, in this game, because they haven't, played too many minutes in SEC play before this?
Yeah, I was mentally committed to playing both those guys in the first half and seeing how it unfolded. I thought that because of Alabama's style and the number of possessions they're trying to create, that I wanted to make sure that we were good, in the second half and had our legs and, weren't wore out more than normal. But I thought both of them, on face value, from where I stood, did a pretty good job. Trey obviously made a couple shots, and Quan blocked a shot, and I think got a rebound or two, and was pretty good in terms of his assignments on defense. And hopefully, we can build up some depth that way.
We'll go second row middle, and David.
Sellout announced for this game, and then an overcapacity crowd is listed tonight. And even though the outcome wasn't what you wanted there, what does it say about the investment that's being made in this program now?
Yeah, we were excited, obviously, to hear that that was going to be the situation, and we're not even back in school, and just disappointed that we didn't deliver the result that our fan base wanted. You could feel the energy, even driving into work, walking in. I had to do a couple of things before the game, and you could just feel it. You could feel the big game atmosphere, and the crowd was great. They were trying to help us in the right spots, and I'm just disappointed, like I said, that we didn't deliver the results that we all wanted.